Welcome to the deep dive. You know how this works. You give us the sources, the reading material, and we dig through it to pull out the really interesting bits for you.
Basically, yeah. Your shortcut to getting the key info without all the legwork.
Exactly. And hopefully it's a bit entertaining, too. Today, we're strapping in for a look at something you've probably seen a million times, the Casio F-91W watch.
Oh, yeah, that one. Definitely iconic.
Right. Our main source is a review called, appropriately enough, the iconic Casio F-91W review.
Makes sense.
And our mission really is to figure out why this simple little watch has had such amazing staying power. What's the big deal?
There's definitely more to it than meets the eye. It's got quite a story.
Okay, so let's dive in. Why iconic? The review starts by calling it the best-selling wristwatch ever. Over 100 million units sold.
Wow, 100 million.
Now, okay, you got to put a little asterisk there because of smartwatches these days, Apple Watch and all that. It's a whole different beast.
Sure, different category, really.
But for a traditional, watch, especially digital, 100 million plus.
Yeah.
That's just, well, it's huge. How does that even happen?
Well, I think it's a combination of things. First off, it's cheap, like really accessible price-wise everywhere.
Right. Anyone can basically afford one.
Exactly. Then it's reliable. It just does its job, tells the time day after day, and no fuss.
And it looks the same. That's the other thing. Launched way back in 1989.
Yep, 1989.
And they're still making them. Like 3 million a year, apparently. Still.
It's incredible. Think about that, 36 years as of, 2025? And the design's basically identical?
Unheard of in tech, pretty much. And the guy who designed it, Ryuusake Morai, he went on to do some big G-Shocks later.
Ah, okay. So there's some real design heritage there, even in this humble little watch. That consistency is definitely a big part of its identity. It was just right from the start.
Functional, clear, no nonsense.
Exactly. And knowing the G-Shock connection, you can kind of see that early focus on, practical, durable design.
Now, there's this other angle. The review mentions it, this association with being used as timers for IEDs.
Right. That comes up sometimes.
But the reviewer pretty much calls the whole controversy thing, quote, silly, which I tend to agree with.
Yeah, it feels overblown. I mean, sure, it happened in some cases, but you have to remember how many of these things are out there. Millions and millions.
The review points to stuff like the Watches of Espionage article for a more, level-headed look at the history.
Let's get to the clickbait stuff, yeah.
Exactly. They mentioned hysterical clickbait articles and some obnoxious YouTube video just hyping it up.
It's like the Toyota pickup truck analogy they use.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Just because a super common, reliable tool can be misused by some people.
Doesn't make the tool itself bad or controversial. It's about ubiquity. The very things that make it popular for normal use, reliable, cheap, available, are why it might pop up in bad situations too.
Totally. You can't blame the watch.
Focusing only on that tiny fraction ignores the millions using it every single day for, just telling time.
And it's not just us regular folks wearing them. Casio generally seems to attract some, pretty high-profile wearers. And the F-91W specifically. Like former President Barack Obama was seen wearing one.
Really? Obama. Interesting. Maybe just wanted something simple, functional, no need for a flashy watch, maybe.
Could be. And the list goes on. Chung Wee-sun, the guy running Hyundai Motor Group, huge company.
Okay.
Then there was Chuck Feeney, the duty-free shoppers co-founder, billionaire but famously frugal, and gave most of his money away.
Wow. So people who could afford literally anything.
Right. And then, totally different direction, Subcomandante Marcos, the Zapatista leader down in Mexico.
That is a diverse group, from a president to a revolutionary leader to billionaire CEOs.
It really cuts across lines, doesn't it? Suggests the appeal isn't about status, it's something else. Practicality. Understated cool. I don't know.
Maybe a bit of all of that. It just works for a lot of different people.
Okay, let's talk specs. The actual watch. The review gives the dimensions. 35.2 millimeters wide.
Pretty small by today's standards.
Yeah, really thin, only 8.5 millimeters. And the lug-to-lug, how long it is on the wrist, is 38.2 millimeters.
Very compact.
Water resistance is only 30 meters. So splashes are fine, probably washing your hands, but definitely not for swimming.
No, definitely not a dive watch.
And it's made of resin, so it weighs like nothing, 21 grams. But the review says it feels surprisingly tough.
Lightweight but durable is the theme.
Some people find it too small, maybe, but the reviewer argues that compact size is actually part of why it's lasted so long. What do you think?
I think that's spot on. You know, not everything needs to be a giant dinner plate on your wrist. The F-91W is just comfortable, easy to wear, doesn't get in the way. It's refreshing.
I gotta admit, I'm not always a huge fan of digital watch looks, but this one,
Hmm?
it has this honest, almost vintage vibe now. Yeah. Because it is vintage design.
It absolutely is. Authentically retro.
And yeah, it's plastic, the case, the strap.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel cheap, you know. The buttons have a nice little click.
A positive click, yeah. Gives you confidence.
And there are those little resin bumpers on the side kind of protecting the buttons a bit.
Yeah.
Adds a tiny bit of ruggedness to the look.
And the back is just simple, stainless steel, held on by 4 little screws, pure function.
And the strap. It's 18 millimeters wide, black resin. Perfectly fine, comfortable.
Does the job.
But apparently it's easy to swap out. You can put it on like a NATO strap or something else. The review mentions checking out videos for how to do it properly.
Ah, so you can customize it a bit. That's cool for such a cheap watch. Adds a bit of versatility.
Definitely. Okay, let's look at the screen and what it actually does. The LCD is super basic, but really easy to read.
Very legible, yeah. In most light.
And the buttons even have little arrows telling you what they do. Pretty straightforward. The light button on the left gives this little green glow.
It's not very bright, is it?
No, definitely not. But it works in the dark. Just enough to see the time. And I guess it saves battery. Efficiency over brightness.
That's the F-91W philosophy in a nutshell, right? Essential function, super efficient.
And the bottom right button, that's your quick toggle for the alarm on or off, and switching between 12 and 24-hour time. Easy.
Simple.
And the bottom left is the mode button. This cycles you through the features. Press it once. You're in alarm mode.
Where you can set a daily alarm or turn on the hourly chime, or both. Use the other buttons to set it. Pretty intuitive.
Press mode. Again, stopwatch. And it's surprisingly capable. 11/100th of a second.
And it does split times too, right?
Yeah. Split time and even first and second place times. Pretty neat for such a basic watch.
Covers most basic timing needs for sure. Shows how much they packed in there.
And then 3 presses of mode gets you to setting the time and date. You cycle through seconds, hours, minutes, month, date, day of the week.
Standard stuff.
But here's a nice touch. It's got an annual calendar. It knows February only has 28 days.
Oh, right. So you don't have to fiddle with the date most months. That's genuinely useful. Adds to the set it and forget it vibe.
And here's something else the review mentioned that I thought was wild. A kind of Easter egg. If you hold down the bottom right button for like 3 seconds,
Yeah. What happens?
the screen displays CA510. Apparently that's a built-in check against fakes.
No way. They counterfeit these things. A $20 watch.
That's what I thought. But I guess when you sell so many, even a tiny profit on fakes adds up. The fact Casio put that check in there tells you something about the scale.
Wow. That's actually fascinating. A counterfeit check on a budget icon.
Inside, it's running the Module 593 quartz movement. Does all those things we just talked about.
Yeah.
Accuracy is rated at plus or minus 30 seconds a month.
Pretty standard for quartz. Decent enough.
But the battery life, this is the killer feature, maybe. It uses a little CR2016 battery,
Common battery.
and Casio reckons it'll last about 7 years.
7. That's incredible. Basically lasts forever in watch terms.
And a new battery costs, what, 50 cents? Maybe $1?
Yeah, pocket change, that longevity is a huge part of the appeal. No charging, no winding. Just works for years. Casio even breaks down their assumptions, like using the alarm 20 seconds a day, the light once a day to get that 7 years.
So, your mileage may vary slightly, but still, amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, if the classic black and blue isn't quite your thing, there are actually quite a few variations.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, the original is black with a blue ring, F-91W1, but there's one with a green ring, one with a brown ring. They even did versions with like a gold-colored case or silver.
Okay, so slight color tweaks.
Yeah, and different case colors too, like forest green, bright blue, gray.
They're getting a bit more adventurous.
And then they have the jelly models. Those have translucent straps in different colors, baby blue, pink, white, gray. Bit more fun, maybe.
Translucent.
Yeah.
Bit more modern, yeah. Keeps the same shape, though.
Right. And they're also the F-91WB models. These look a bit cleaner, less text on the dial. They come all black, all blue, all white.
Ugh, the minimalist take?
Sort of. And there is even, get this, a Pac-Man collaboration. Special packaging and stuff.
Pac-Man. Okay, that's random. That wasn't $20, though.
Probably not.
Oh.
But it shows they know people collect these things, They play around with it.
Keeps it interesting, caters to the different tastes, but the core watch stays the same. Smart.
Let's talk money again. The retail price is officially like 23, 22.95 cents.
Ah,
But you see them on sale all the time for like 16 bucks,
yeah.
maybe even less sometimes.
It's just unbeatable value. Seriously. That explains the 3 million a year production number, doesn't it? People just keep buying them because why not?
Exactly. For that price, you get something reliable, functional, with history.
And tough. Don't forget tough.
Oh, yeah. The review mentioned some online videos testing its durability. Apparently, people have tested the water resistance way beyond the 30 meters, and to 60 meters.
Double the rating. Wow. Okay, not scientific maybe, but still impressive.
And the craziest one, someone supposedly ran one over with a Chevrolet Silverado, a big pickup truck.
And what happened?
It got mangled, obviously. Case cracked, strap probably broke. But the review said it was still running.
You're kidding. After being run over by a truck?
Still ticking. That's legendary toughness right there.
That absolutely is. Contributes to the whole mystique, doesn't it? Cheap, simple, but secretly indestructible.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So wrapping things up here, it's really clear this Casio F-91W isn't just some cheap throwaway watch.
Not at all. It's way more significant than its price suggests.
Yeah, it's a piece of watch history, a massive seller. The design is timeless. It actually does quite a bit.
Worn by presidents and plumbers.
Right. And it's ridiculously tough and costs next to nothing.
It really is a reminder that good design and solid function don't need to cost a fortune. It's earned its place, no question.
So maybe a final thought for you listening. In this world of constant upgrades, smart everything, hyper-connected devices, what does it say that this watch, this super basic, super affordable tool, is still so incredibly popular?
Good question.
Why does something so simple still resonate with so many different people from all walks of life after all these decades? What does it tell us about what we actually value in technology, or even just in, marking time?
Definitely something to chew on. Its appeal is kind of countercultural in a way.
It really is. Anyway, thanks for taking this deep dive with us into the world of the Casio F-91W.